Hey there! Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed and confused when it comes to healthy eating? Well, as a registered dietitian nutritionist, I've got you covered. In this video, I'll be breaking down the basics of healthy eating and giving you the tools you need to start making positive changes in your diet and lifestyle habits. Get ready to feel better and take control of your health with this Healthy Eating 101 guide. To supplement this video, I've created a handout with all of these tips for a Healthy Eating 101 guide, and you can just click on the link in the description box of this video and then download the handout right to your computer and print it out if necessary, or you can download it right to your phone. All right, so let's get started with my first tip for Healthy Eating 101. Tip number 1 is to focus on whole fruits. An easy way to add more fruit into your diet is to include fruit at breakfast. You can top whole grain cereal with your favorite seasonal or frozen fruit. You can add berries to pancakes, or you can mix dried fruit into hot oatmeal. Another simple way to get your servings of fruit in for the day is to make smoothies. I like to use smoothie kits such as Blendtopia or Aviv, and they just make smoothie prep so easy. All you have to do is add the frozen cubes to a blender, add your liquid, blend it up, and your smoothie is ready to eat. And these smoothie cubes are made with organic fruits, vegetables, and superfoods. I have made some videos on how I make my smoothie kit smoothies with Blendtopia and Aviv, and so I will leave the link to those videos in the description box. You can also add more fruit into your diet as a healthy snack by packing it to go. Fruits like oranges, bananas, and apples are great portable snacks. These fruits are packed with fiber, micronutrients, and hydration to keep you feeling full longer. You can cut up the fruit into bite-sized pieces for easy snacking on the go, and then pair the fruit with a protein source like nuts or yogurt to make your snack even more filling and satisfying and to increase satiety. Just remember to choose a variety of fruits to keep things interesting and to get a range of nutrients. You can also make a fruit salad at the beginning of the week and then portion it out into little containers for meal prep. So that way you can have one each day throughout the week as a fun and colorful snack or as a dessert option. I'll show you a little clip of how I prepare my fruit salads every single week, and then I just have them either with breakfast or as a snack or a dessert.
So first I add some chopped fruit to little containers, and then I also like to squeeze some citrus on the fruit. I love doing lemon juice on top of strawberries. It just intensifies the flavor and makes them taste so much better. And then I just drizzle on some coconut cream, or you can use the cream from Culinary Coconut Milk. And then I like to sprinkle on some chia seeds or cacao nibs just for some added crunch and for some more healthy fats. And then I just place my fruit salads in the fridge for when I need a snack or a healthy dessert. I also like to make a glaze with this raw coconut butter, and so I will warm it up so that way I can pour it into a bowl. And then I like to add some sort of liquid oil to the coconut butter so that way it stays liquid at room temperature. And so I'm going to be using this plant-based ghee to help it stay liquid, and this will add a buttery flavor to it as well. So I do 2 tablespoons of this. You can also do a liquid coconut oil if you don't want to add a buttery flavor to it. And then I add a half a teaspoon of almond extract and a half a teaspoon of raspberry extract, but you can add whatever flavor you want to it. And then I add 1/8 teaspoon of monk fruit extract, and this is just plain monk fruit. It doesn't have any erythritol in it like Lakanto monk fruit sweetener does, and so you really don't need that much at all. And then I just mix it all together, and then I just store it at room temperature in the pantry for when I'm ready to use it. So for these fruit salads, I'm going to be doing some chopped watermelon, chopped papaya, and then I added some minced ginger on top to add some extra spice. And then I added some lime juice to these fruit salads because I love lime on top of watermelon. It just makes it taste so refreshing and it intensifies the flavor of the watermelon. And then I just drizzle on the coconut butter And once you drizzle it on and it touches the cold fruit, it'll actually harden and turn into a hard glaze, almost like icing. And then I like to add either shredded coconut or these coconut chips on top just for some added crunch. So I'm going to be adding some shredded coconut on these fruit salads, and then I just put the top on the containers and I store them in the fridge to have later as a snack or as a healthy dessert. And then the next thing I like to do when I make my fruit salads is I will do the same thing but with coconut cream, and you can just use the coconut cream from Culinary Coconut Milk. And then once you add it to a bowl, then you add your flavoring to it. I did 1 teaspoon vanilla extract for this one, 1/8 teaspoon monk fruit extract, and then I just store the coconut cream mixture in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. So for these fruit salads, I decided to do sliced strawberries, some pitted cherries that were fresh cherries, and then I added some blueberries. I used this strawberry slicer called a Slicer, and I just got it at Williams-Sonoma, and I just really like the way it works, and I just feel like it makes the strawberries easier to eat and it makes my fruit salad look even prettier. And then I love adding pomegranate arrows on top because pomegranates are my favorite fruit. Then I decided to add some lime juice to these fruit salads because I love lime and cherries. It gives it like a cherry limeade flavor. And then you just drizzle the coconut cream on top. And then for my toppings, I decided to add some chopped walnuts on top for some healthy fats. And I also decided to add some coconut chips, and this will just give your fruit salad a little extra crunch and some more healthy fats and fiber. And then I just place these in the fridge for when I'm ready to snack on them or as a dessert.
Tip number 2 is to vary your veggies. So every time you're meal planning for the week, choose a different vegetable side dish to make. So what I like to do every week is I'll think about a vegetable that I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I'm in the mood for sweet potatoes or carrots or Brussels sprouts. And then I'll just type that food into one of my favorite recipe websites in the search engine and see what recipes come up. So I like using recipe websites like paleoleap.com or allrecipes.com. And then I just find a recipe that looks good. I may modify the recipe based on my dietary needs, and then I just keep any of the recipes that I absolutely love in a binder. That way, whenever I'm in the mood to make a healthy vegetable side dish, I can just pull out one of my favorite recipes and use it for meal planning for the week. Some of my favorite vegetable side dishes are sweet potato casserole, Brussels sprouts gratin, and steamed carrots with dill and lemon. So you just want to experiment with different types of vegetables to find ones that you enjoy. Another thing you can do is add vegetables to dishes that you already enjoy, such as pasta or stir fry. You can choose a variety of colorful vegetables like bell peppers, broccoli, carrots, and mushrooms to add to your stir fry to make it even more visually appealing and nutrient rich. You can create main dishes such as pasta primavera with vegetables and chickpeas. You can make pizza topped with vegetables. You can make a veggie lasagna. Soups and stews are also a great way to pack in more vegetables and make a filling meal. Another thing you can do to vary your veggies is to take veggies on the go in a snack bag. Choose vegetables that are easy to eat on the go, like baby carrots, sliced bell peppers, or celery. Pack your veggies ahead of time in a small container or little bag so that they're easy to grab and go. You can also find veggie-based snacks at your local health food store, like roasted chickpeas or kale chips that are easy to eat on the go. One of my number one tips whenever people ask me, what can I do to lose weight and get healthy, when they find out I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and my number one tip that I always tell them is always bring healthy snacks with you when you leave your house. It doesn't matter if you're just gonna be gone for an hour or less. You never know when that hunger will strike. And you don't want to be in a situation where you have to choose fast food or gas station food or snacks from a vending machine. I promise if you have healthy snacks with you, you will never reach for processed packaged foods at convenience stores and vending machines ever again. The number one way to success when it comes to weight loss and weight management is to have nutritious snacks with you at all times. This is going to be key to your success. And tip number 3 is to prioritize protein. Protein is digested more slowly than carbohydrates, so it will keep us feeling full longer and more satisfied. Protein is what makes up enzymes and hormones. It's essential for us to have beautiful hair, skin, and nails, and it's the main ingredient when it comes to rebuilding all of our cells, building muscles, and repairing tissues. Most animal proteins, such as beef, eggs, chicken, fish, and poultry, contain all of the essential amino acids. And so these are referred to as a complete protein. You want to try and include a source of protein at every meal, such as eggs, chicken, or beans. 30 grams of protein per meal is enough because your body can only utilize so much protein at once. And since your body doesn't store excess protein, if you eat too much, it can eventually be converted to fat. So when it comes to super high protein diets, especially in the absence of carbohydrates, this is going to be really hard on the kidneys. It's also been shown in scientific research to leach calcium from bones, damage organs, cause constipation, and it may even cause nutrient deficiencies if a super high protein diet is done long term. So we need to have a balanced diet of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And it's good to get protein at every meal. So when you're planning your snacks for the week, choose protein-rich foods like nuts, seeds like pumpkin and sunflower seeds, a healthy trail mix, hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, or jerky. These snacks are going to help you feel full throughout the day. You can also add protein powder to smoothies or shakes for an easy and quick protein boost. Experiment with different protein sources such as tofu, tempeh, or lentils to find other ones that you enjoy. And the next time you have a taco or wrap night, switch up your protein source and try shrimp, beans, chicken, or beef. Another good thing to know about protein is that if we're eating enough protein at every meal, this is going to help reduce cravings throughout the day. We're going to have less cravings for those sugary sweets, those salty foods or junk foods if we're eating enough protein throughout the day. Speaking of cravings, I have a class. It's a free online class where I teach you how to get rid of unhealthy food cravings for good without giving up your favorite foods. So if you've struggled with unhealthy food cravings for many years, I highly recommend this online class, and I will teach you how to identify the root cause of your unhealthy food cravings and how to get rid of those food cravings for good. You'll also learn how to use my proven method to reduce and replace unhealthy food cravings so that you can get healthy again and lose weight quickly. So if you want to sign up for my free class on food cravings, the link to this class is in the description box below. Tip number 4 is to switch to whole grains. If you normally use white flour when baking, you can swap white flour with whole wheat flour when cooking. You can also try adding more whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, or barley to soups, stews, and stir fries. An easy way to get in more whole grains into your diet is to batch cook grains at the beginning of the week. Grains are inexpensive and they're often available in bulk. They can be the basis of meals or sides throughout the week. So for example, if you're making pork chops for dinner one night, you can just serve that over rice, and there's your easy whole grain side. Or if you're making baked chicken, you can serve that with a side of rice or quinoa. You just want to cook a large batch of rice or quinoa or whatever your favorite grain is to save time and effort. And then store your cooked grains in airtight containers in the fridge for later use throughout the week. You can also add flavor to the grains by cooking them in broth or spices. What I like to do is I like to cook my quinoa in either chicken broth or high quality bone broth to just up the protein content a little bit, and then I'll add some spices to it and it tastes amazing. And then I just cook it in my pressure cooker and it's so easy. Tip number 5, move to organic dairy or dairy alternatives. The American Dietary Guidelines recommends 3 servings of dairy a day to improve your overall diet because it does contain 9 essential nutrients. So there are some benefits to cow's milk. However, many people have a sensitivity to the milk protein casein, and have an intolerance to lactose. So these people experience unpleasant symptoms within hours or days after consuming the cow's milk dairy product. The truth is, approximately 75% of the world's adults do not make the lactase enzyme, which is needed to digest the lactose in milk. Infants naturally produce this enzyme because human breast milk is very high in lactose. But by age 5 or within a few years after weaning, most children stop making lactase because from a biological perspective, this enzyme is no longer needed. If you enjoy eating dairy products, but you think you might be lactose intolerant, you can ask your doctor to give you a breath test to see if you don't make the lactase enzyme. If it turns out that you are sensitive to lactose and still want to eat dairy products, you can start with hard cheeses and yogurt. And then just try eating small amounts of dairy foods one at a time. You can also take a lactase supplement whenever you eat dairy foods. If you decide not to consume dairy products, the good news is you can get calcium from plenty of other food sources besides dairy. For example, broccoli, kale, almonds, and tofu. And you can always give the plant-based milks a try. My favorite non-dairy milks are almond and coconut milk. And then if you do want to consume dairy, then definitely choose organic because organic dairy products will be free of antibiotics and hormones that are commonly used in conventional dairy farming. Organic dairy farming practices are also more sustainable and better for the environment than conventional dairy farming practices. They're also better for animal welfare, which can lead to a happier, healthier cow. And organic dairy products have been shown to be higher in nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E. And the most important reason, in my opinion, is that organic dairy products are produced without the use of synthetic pesticides, which can be harmful to human health. So you'll be lowering your exposure to toxic pesticides if you choose organic dairy over conventional dairy. Tip number 6 is to be cautious with added sugars, saturated fat, and sodium. So to do this, you want to limit processed packaged foods because these types of foods are going to have added refined industrial sugar, hydrogenated oils, and refined sodium. So the way you'll know if the processed packaged foods have these ingredients in them is you'll need to read the nutrition facts label before buying the product to check for added sugar, sodium, and saturated fat. Look for ingredients like cane sugar, corn syrup, rice syrup, sucrose, dextrose, and high fructose corn syrup. These are all common names for sugar. For sodium, you want to look for things like monosodium glutamate, sodium nitrate, sodium phosphate, disodium inosonate, and disodium guanylate, and salt. These are all other names that you might see for sodium. Sea salt or pink Himalayan crystal salt are okay. These salts contain all the minerals you need on a daily basis and even contain trace amounts of iodine. And if you need help with reading the nutrition facts and the ingredient list of a food label, stay until the end where I can tell you how you can have your own personal nutritionist. My next tip is to cook at home because this is going to allow you to control the amount of sugar, sodium, and saturated fat in your meals. Use herbs and spices to add flavor to your meals instead of refined salt or sugar. And when it comes to your drinks, choose unsweetened beverages like water or unsweetened tea instead of sugary drinks. For snacks, swap out unhealthy snacks like chips or candy for healthier options like fruit and nuts. And when you're planning your meals for the week, choose whole foods for your recipes like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, which are naturally low in sugar, sodium, and saturated fat. All right, so I just went over 6 tips on Eating Healthy 101. If you would like a comprehensive guide on how to eat healthy, you can go ahead and download the handout that I created right to your computer and print it out if necessary. The link to this handout is in the description box. You can even download it to your phone. My name is Teresa. I help men and women transform their bodies through simple diet and lifestyle changes so that they can lose weight, eat without feeling guilty, and fit into their favorite clothes again. If you would like to have your own personal nutritionist to help you reach your health and lifestyle goals, then you are welcome to connect with me for a free consult and talk with me about a struggle you're having with your diet and lifestyle habits, We can explore some options that might be helpful for you, and I have a special link for anyone watching this video. So to sign up for the free consult, just go to missnutrition.com/schedule. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.